there's a place, a school, an institution where a professor resides. Listen to words of Professor Buitron. Come train at the best-kept secret of Laredo. Buitron Academy, 956-401-4868.
Hope everybody's doing well. I'm Professor Buitron, and today I'm going to be touching base on one of the kicks of Savate Danse De Rue, right, which is the Coup de Bas. And people say, is your all's Coup de Bas different than Boxe Française, or different than Savate, or different than Savate Boxe Française? Let me explain a little bit of history to you guys. The first art of the French pugilistic arts, was Savate. All right, it was around before that. And one of the students from the first school, Charles Lecour, which was a student of Michel Pissou, or Cassou, as it was known, who founded the first school of Savate, or opened up the first school of Savate to the public. And you're talking about 1803, 1805, to about Charles Lecour came of age in 1820s, a ruffian. He loved to fight. He loved to fight in the different neighborhoods. And you have to understand that street fighting for a prize, fighting for territory, that was very common. Not only in France, it was common in England, it was common in the United States. It was just part of life. Well, Charles Lecour, and some people say, and this is by word of mouth from Matt Silvani, Pierre Baruzzi, Roger Lafont. Those are people that I talked to. Those are people that I knew personally, including Marie Sade, including my professor Jean-Paul Viviani. Many others will tell you that some of the history in Savate is passed on by word of mouth. It's an oral history. So they say that Cassou was at one particular time the bodyguard of the Duc d'Orléans. Maybe so. I believe so. Well, anyway, his student, Charles Lecour, was very good. Fought another person that was close to Lord Seymour. Lord Seymour was a very powerful man in England, like the Duc d'Orléans in France. And they had a match by Charles Lecour and Owen Swift. Charles Lecour won the match. But Owen Swift broke Lecour's nose. So when he broke his nose, Lecour said, I want you to teach me how to punch. Because before that, Savate did have a manchette, did have punches of this nature, had baffes, pokes to the eyes. All that existed. Okay? So Lecour went to Paris. He learned fighting. He brought it back. And he called it Adresse Parisienne, from Paris. That was the name of it. Along the years, everybody started doing it. It became very popular because many people studied it. Many Savateurs knew what it was, and it changed it. So Savate and Boxe Française split there. So you had two distinct fighting arts that were very similar. What are the differences? We can talk about it later on. Basically, it was after the delivering of a strike and before the delivering of the strike. That type of angulations were very different. In 78, both styles merge and produce the sport that we have today, which is Savate Boxe Française. Many people are under the impression that Savate is for the street, Boxe Française for the ring. That is a misnomer. That is not correct. Does pure Boxe Française exist today? No. Pure Savate exist today? No. What exists today is remnants of it inside Savate Danse De Rue and inside the sport of Savate Boxe Française. People would say Savate Defense is old Savate. No, it's not. Savate Defense was a modern term, modern art that was trying to compete against Savate Danse De Rue. Okay, so that's just the way it is. We'll break it down. That's the finality of it. Many professors, as we go along, did the Coup de Bas, whether you came from Books and Says, whether you came from Savate. The Coup de Bas was a major, major strike or weapon of Saboteur. Many people say, is a Coup de Bas used for defense or offense? It's used for both. The Coup de Bas is kicked with the point of the shoe. No, it's kicked with the instep of the side of the shoe. And there are two forms of Coup de Bas. The Coup de Bas, you have a frappe, which is a straight, solid strike, a very solid strike. And the other one is called déséquilibre, removing your déséquilibrium, removing your balance. And that one strikes the sole of the shoe and moving it out of the way for you to have a tumble. Okay. The striking point of a coup de bas, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're saying it wrong. It's called coup de pied bas. Well, whatever way you want to call it, it's a coup de bas in the life of Savate. Many manuals put pied because of grammatically correct French and how you write it. Every strike should have coup de pied fuerte lateral, or coup de pied fuerte revers lateral, or coup de pied bas, déséquilibre, or frappe. That's just the way it is. So the way we learned it, it's called a coup de bas. And a coup de bas, when you strike, it doesn't go higher than the knee. You don't bend at the waist. It's a pendulum movement. It's one of the movements that end up in a balance category, because in Savate, Boxe Française, you have three different types of mechanics. You have a fouet, which flicks. You have a chasse that pushes like a piston. And the other one's a balance motion of the body. So a coup de bas falls within the balance motion mechanically of striking of the art. Now, the coup de bas frappe, it is meant to break the bones of the ankle and foot. Understand that. It is not meant to break the tibia. It's meant to break the ankle bones of the foot that you're striking. So if I'm wearing cowboy boots, you will understand why that's going to happen. If I'm wearing leather sole shoes with hard soles and I hit you, that's what's going to occur. I'm going to break your ankle bones. People say, oh, no, it doesn't happen. That's what it's for. How many people can do that depends on the way you practice and the way you're being taught and the intensity that you have. That's just the way it is. Now, the déséquilibre is to remove the balance or of the lower structure of an opponent. That's the way it is. So here we have usages of the coup de bas. You have to build the coup de bas to the point that you have to train with it at home, not only just when you come train in class or in the training sessions. You have to actually practice it. To become a saboteur, you have to live the life, not just I put on my gloves and go work out for an hour twice a week, and here I am going to get the Savate genie's going to come down, the Savate fairy's going to come down and wave a wand when I do get into an altercation. No, you have to practice. So a lot of the things that you do, you have to practice outside the gym. That's the best thing I can tell you about a coup de bas. That's the only thing I can tell you because I've been doing this for many, many years. And I've taught it the same way I was taught. And I saw it by many clubs do the same way. Different professors had different techniques, both for offense or defense. And we pass those along because that is part of the craft that we do. And hopefully you like that. We'll have some more videos. Once more, if you want to learn, you can do so. We have an online program that's on there to get you through some of your glove ranks and teaches you a lot. You can find it here in the YouTube channel. And once more, if you like it, like, comment, ask more questions, because we're going to continue doing more. You all stay safe, be safe, and God bless you all.